Thanks for watching. This is Vaticano. St. John Paul II is one of the most beloved saints of Catholic youth. He's a patron saint of the World Youth Days. He's known as a great theologian, a wise religious leader, a man of peace. John Paul II was the most seen and popular person in the 20th century. He visited roughly 129 nations in his 104 apostolic journeys during one of the longest pontificates in church history. Besides his important mission as Pope and a public figure, John Paul II was a friend of young people. The best example of his love for the youth was the invention of World Youth Days.
Altro grande amico, Nazioni Unite, hanno organizzato un anno della gioventù. Loro hanno organizzato, hanno annunciato, noi abbiamo fatto.
He liked to spend time with youth. He was waiting for the World Youth Days as much as any Catholic young person. He repeated many times that he had a young heart.
Un joven de 83 años.
St. John Paul II is often portrayed as an elderly man dressed in white clothes with a cane in his hands. But not many people know who the young Karol Wojtyła was. His parents named him Karol after his father's name. Friends called him Lolek. Karol was born in the Polish city of Wadowice on May the 18th, 1920. He was the second child in the Wojtyła family. At an early age, he faced many deprivations and difficulties: the early death of his mother, the deaths of his siblings, the Nazi occupation of Poland, and then World War II. Despite the difficulties, Karol was a joyful and positive young man. He liked to play soccer. His role in the game was goalkeeper, and his favorite team was the Polish club Cracovia. Karol also had a deep spiritual life. In high school, he joined a movement called the Society of Mary, and soon became its president. Deep faith and devotion were transmitted to him by his father. In the summer of 1938, after graduating from high school in Wadowice, Karol Wojtyła and his father moved to Krakow, the former capital of Poland. Karol entered the Jagiellonian University to study philosophy, Polish language, and literature. In his university years, Karol was an athlete, actor, and playwright. At the end of the academic year with his friends, Karol organized an experimental theater troupe to preserve the values and Polish culture from Nazi invasion. In 1939, the Nazi occupation forces closed the university, and Karol had to work in a quarry to earn his living. During this difficult time, he discovered a call to the priesthood, and in 1942, he began courses in the clandestine seminary of Krakow. He had to combine his studies with the work in the quarry and his activity at the clandestine theater. When the war was over, Karol continued his studies in the seminary of Krakow and was ordained to the priesthood by Archbishop Sapieha in Krakow on November 1st, 1946. St. John Paul II in his youth was an ordinary young man. He had the same interests as today's youth. He loved sports and art, and he had many friends. Unusual was his love for life and his boundless trust in God, which made him forever young.
Se tu vivi con I giovani, tu dovrai diventare anche giovane.